There is no nobility in poverty.
Poverty is the worst form of violence.
And that leads to crime.
Let me tell y'all something. My name is Coach McKinnon in Memphis, Tennessee. When you come to Memphis, you definitely gonna see me. My slogan is don't shoot, put up them dukes.
Yeah.
We have the highest homicide rate Memphis has ever seen.
Yeah.
900 people have been murdered, 200 of them were children.
This year?
My brother in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
And it's climbing every day.
Welcome to Memphis, Tennessee, a city where the heartbeat of a rich and diverse culture echoes through its streets. Here, music, art, civil rights history,
I've been to the mountaintop.
and groundbreaking accomplishments converge.
The resolution naming Robert Church the father of Memphis. Church is known as the first black millionaire in the U.S.
But beneath the surface of this cultural tapestry, a contrasting reality emerges. Memphis confronts enduring challenges from glaring wealth gap to the haunting specter of gun violence.
Sir, Memphis, Tennessee.
For those that haven't been in Memphis, what is it famous for?
Barbecue, rap, murders.
And the indelible scars left by poverty's grasp. Listen, sit back
and enjoy the ride
as we go through this profound journey, uncovering the transformative power of wealth and its effects on this remarkable city, because we truly believe that, money does solve problems.
Turn me up in the headphones. Yeah. Grind to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and vomit nose. Anything is possible.
Talk to me about the financial literacy, bro. Why do y'all feel like, you know what I'm saying, now is the time for Memphis to really be tapped in?
Yeah, man, I truly believe that if we can get finances off the table, we're not thinking about money. Yeah. Just imagine the other amazing things that we can do. Mm-hmm. A lot of people working these 9 to 5s and letting life beat on them, and they're so focused about money that they don't have the opportunity to dream.
Maybe you're working too hard on yourself.
We still think of productivity as an endurance sport. We try to churn out as many blog posts, or we cram our day full of meetings. But this model of constant output isn't conducive to creative thought. We need systems that work with our creativity and not against it.
Yeah.
That's why I tell Tramain all the time, man, Elon Musk, his head is in the clouds.
The billionaire who's put himself in charge of global free speech.
Are you sincerely trying to save the world? You don't even know what he's going to come up with yet.
He never imagines that he can fail. He just doesn't.
Man, that's a good point, man. Right. Because you think about our culture.
Right.
9 times out of 10, when we wake up, spaceships aren't the thing we're thinking about. No. You know what I'm saying? Outer space and these things that Elon Musk has the opportunity to think about. Right. Like, bro, we thinking about where the next meal gonna come from, how we gonna pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? The debt that we accumulated through college. Like, that's a valid point. Yeah, man.
And the second part, you pretty much hit on it. It's like, we talk about it all the time, Charlie. It's like, man, people are hurting.
Yeah.
But they don't have the tools.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't even understand what a savings and a checking account is.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So if we can hone in on finances, and not only on that point, but we can help create situations to where better jobs, you know what I mean, it's gonna pay out more, man, some of this violence might stop.
Tramain is absolutely right. When people have the necessary tools and a shift in mindset, there's a decrease in violence and crime. Many individuals, due to limited resources, feel compelled to do anything to make money.
Crime plaguing downtown Memphis. Some leaders and even MPD's top cop make it clear we must address it or we lose the city.
The crime will keep Memphis from reaching its potential.
At some point, we are going to tip the scale on whether or not Memphis is bankable. And we won't have the option for private investment.
Renardo Baker, a well-known community activist and successful businessperson, is a shining example to help paint the picture.
It was a Sunday night, and I was broke. I already had my first son at the age of 15. I had my second son on the way. Well, my second son didn't come until I was 19.
19.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had these 10 rocks, and I heard this voice tell me, all the junk is in the hood. You know where they at. Go out there and sell these rocks. And so that Sunday night, I got out there, I sold 10 rocks. I made $140. I made $40 profit, and I called my partner. I said, hey, I need 14 more rocks.
Notorious B.I.G. said it best. Either you sling and crack rock or you got a wicked jump shot.
And from that point on, is where I'm at now.
Formerly living a life that would have led to death or jail, Renardo decided to make a change.
I used to sell drugs in this community. I had 5 different dope houses. And from them dope houses, in that proximity, I helped destroy the mindsets of those people in that area because I provide them the drugs. So what God showed me, he said, change it around. He said, now do a safe house and help those folks in your proximity and help change their mindset.
Renardo Baker, a shining example of determination and resilience, stands as a beacon of hope in the fight against poverty. He represents the countless individuals who have risen above adversity to make a positive impact in their communities. But to truly tackle the challenges we face, we must acknowledge that poverty and crime are intertwined, and at the core of this issue lies the glaring wealth gap.
Youth crime in Memphis has skyrocketed.
So we wanted to know the driving force behind this problem, and one expert said it all boils down to poverty. Action News 5's Tavarius Haywood has details.
A University of Memphis professor says Memphis has some of the richest white people in the country.
He has an estimated net worth of $3.6 billion. He's Fred Smith.
Fred Smith founded the company that revolutionized business 50 years ago.
This year, one of the honorees was Fred Smith, the Memphian and founder and CEO, former CEO of FedEx.
And if it weren't for Federal Express, black folk in Memphis would be SOL, man. And some people know what I mean by SOL.
We do.
And Federal Express has made a lot of black folk comfortable financially, has promoted a lot of black people, has shown how blacks and whites and others can work together to achieve great corporate and financial success for this city. The city of Memphis owes Federal Express.
At the same time, it also has some of the poorest black people in the country. With the lack of inequality, she says crime is bound to happen.
That inequality leads to a lot of frustration and anger, and that leads to mental health issues and more crime.
Let's take a closer look at the numbers. The top 20% of income is $172,622, and the top 5% is $335,653. Now, compare that to a family of 5 living in poverty at $35,495. It's a stark contrast. When a small group of people holds the majority of the money and resources, it creates tension in society.
While I'm counting these blessings, mind the setbacks, those were just lessons. Moving too fast, had to set a pace. Complete my goals, shit ain't no race. Hennessy straight, I'm only chasing money.
Some individuals with low incomes spend their money on things they can't really afford, such as expensive clothing and luxury cars.
We spent $2 billion on Air Jordans, $4 billion on liquor and alcohol, $600 million on fast food. And we bought twice the amount of Mercedes-Benzes as white America, although white America has twice the wealth of black folk. So the question becomes, what is it about the Mercedes-Benz that makes it so attractive to African Americans even when they can barely afford it? And it's because it's a status symbol.
That's all.
And one thing we know about oppressed people, when you can enjoy true freedom, you surround yourself with the symbols of that freedom.
Absolutely.
She's so precious with the peer pressure. Couldn't afford a car, so she named her daughter Alexis.
It's puzzling when you consider that someone like Jeff Bezos, during his early billionaire status, would choose to drive a Honda Accord, while there are middle-class people buying pricey cars that stretch their budgets.
According to my calculations, you yourself are worth somewhere in the vicinity of $9 or $10 billion today. I only say that because I've got a follow-up question.
Okay.
What's with the Honda?
This is a perfectly good car.
So why does this happen? In societies with significant income inequality, those who earn less face tremendous social pressure. Their lower status in the social hierarchy is both apparent and consequential. In response to this, some people in poverty buy goods that give off the impression that they have plenty of resources, even if they're struggling financially.
We're gonna go to the club. We're gonna get some bottles. We're gonna drink it up. Go buy that outfit for nightlife. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna turn up for that.
Similarly, individuals living in low-income neighborhoods who may be relatively well off compared to their neighbors still worry about being seen as lacking resources. To combat this perception, they purchase expensive and flashy items to display their wealth to outsiders.
Bread it up, bro. Listen, shut up.
To illustrate this behavior, researchers recently studied Google search trends across different states in the United States. They discovered that in states with higher levels of income inequality, people were more likely to search for luxury brands compared to those in states with lower income inequality. Research from Forbes suggests that if you were looking for the latest fashion from Ralph Lauren, a brand known for its overly expensive clothes, you would find a higher frequency of such searches in Mississippi compared to Iowa. The same pattern emerges between New York and Nebraska. In essence, people living in areas with greater income inequality tend to show more interest in luxury goods. Some people might think that if they can't get what they need, they must take it forcefully. It is crucial for both the rich and the poor to discover common ground and foster collaboration.
When will we effectively try the collaboration piece, man? What's y'all thoughts on that?
Man, what are we scared of? I think it's fear of not being put in first place or put at the top of the hill.
Right now, it's a crab in a barrel mentality, and it takes people to speak up about being positive, about bringing people closer together, and that's what I do, man.
What is a crab? What is a crab in a barrel mentality? You lost me.
A crab in a barrel. You put a bunch of crabs in a barrel. Yeah. Every crab that tries to climb out of the barrel, there's another crab that's going to grab that crab and pull him back in. Eventually, no crabs can get out the barrel because they're all pulling each other back down because they're all trying to get to the top. No crab is helping. How do you not know that? I don't understand.
Okay. We've been, brainwashing poison to think that one person can get the job done.
As of right now, all decisions go through me.
Yeah. And it's holding us back. It's killing us, man. And I was like, collaboration is key. We have to do it.
Let's learn from each other. It's an opportunity to learn, regardless of level. The time you spend should be broken into thirds. Like 33% of people that are on the same level with you, 33% of people that you're actually pouring into and teaching, and 33% of people that are on a higher tier that you can learn from. So it's like, if I'm not learning from you, then I'm teaching you something. Or iron sharpen iron, we're helping build each other up. So
for sure.
It's just having that mindset of take your ego out the picture, bro.
When our ego takes control, it hampers our ability to truly listen and understand others. We become defensive, protecting our own interests and viewpoints, which limits collaboration. Jim Tam sheds light on the harmful effects of ego and defensiveness in teamwork and cooperation.
There is nothing that will help you become more effective at resolving conflict and building collaboration more than better managing your own defensiveness. In over 25 years of working with other people's conflicts, I almost never had to deal with pure legal issues. People were almost always before me because somebody would start feeling vulnerable and then they would get defensive. And when we get defensive, our thinking becomes rigid. Our IQ drops about 20 points and we simply become stupid. And not only are we terrible problem solvers ourselves, but then we invite everybody else in the room to get defensive. And then what you end up with is a whole room filled with red zone people who cannot solve a problem. The technical term for that, by the way, is litigation. It's as simple as this. If you reduce your defensiveness, you increase your ability to solve problems.
And Charlie, you said something that, man, that's the first time I've heard it broken down like that, the rule of thirds, right?
Right.
And I think that's cool because I see what you guys are doing with Memphis Made, and I see that that other 33%
Right.
being invested back into the community
Right.
with the work that y'all do with the kids and
That's
stuff
it.
like that, man. Talk to me about that a little bit.
Let's welcome today Charlie Crenshaw the fourth and Tramain Stewart, founders of Memphis Made. Welcome. How y'all doing today?
We're doing all right. Thank you for this opportunity, Ms. Neely.
Thank you. You guys are always doing something amazing in the community. Like, how do you guys map out your events and keep things just hot and popping in the community?
So we just have a great chemistry. It goes back years and years and years. We've done something, whether it was dealing with the music at one point in time.
Our next group is from Memphis, Tennessee.
106 apart. Give it up for C. Cren and Lil Black.
106,
Had the nightlife by our hands. Whether we got involved in doing school drives, supply drives, and clothing, shoe drives and stuff. Like, we were always kind of been connected, but now we have a team, of course, Memphis Made. So we'll probably run things by each other first, then we'll send it to them, see what they think. But a lot of times they roll with us because of the chemistry has been so good, and they know we mean well.
Well, parade weather is also car show weather, and people were taking advantage today in Orange Mound. This is a look at the Memphis Aid Car Show benefiting the Mid-South Food Bank. The event was free to attend, but people who were encouraged to bring canned food to feed their fellow Memphians.
We're about taking action and coming out and making it happen.
Tell us a little bit about Memphis Made. Okay.
So we have an acronym, Memphis Made. Memphians exposing magnificent possibilities, helping inspire success.
And MADE is where mentors achieving and developing excitement for the city.
Absolutely.
And we found out that when you're from Memphis, it takes another kind of grit, it takes another kind of work ethic to become successful.
Yeah.
So that's why we said, when we were on the phone trying to come up with a name, we came Memphis Made. If we feel like if you're Memphis Made, you're something special. It's a different kind of made.
It is, because it's tough.
Yeah.
But we also have that extra, just when you get tired, we cranking up.
There you go.
know?
So you just put it plain, that's it.
That was it.
Our flagship program is called Exposure Event. So what we do is we take underserved young brothers in the city and we try to expose them. We don't try, we do it. We expose them to something that they're not accustomed to seeing.
Yeah.
And there are themes. Like, so one exposure event might be selfless service. So we did like a community cleanup in Orange Mound. We took them out to eat at Swanko's Taco Shop. Shout out to y'all. And then we took them to the movies.
Yeah.
Or another one might be, exposing them to a 21st century skill set. So we collaborated with Cloud 901. They learned engineering, how to record music.
I started making music when I was like 8, 9 years old, 28 now, so crazy hearing like how long I've been doing it. Was you can get so much like knowledge without even having to go pay for a school, and you got like top of the line studio equipment. We use Logic, Pro Tools, you have all the UAD equipment, so everything that folks is using in their studio for your favorite artists, you got it right here. And so you can pretty much, if you do it right, you could start your whole career or whatever it is that you're trying to do here and jumpstart yourself before you get out to the real world. So it's like, anybody here rap? Like, you rap?
I'm recording, right? Okay. Look, I was raised in the mound on Hamilton to be exact. Pretty good kid, but the hood will never give you slack. Surrounded by the worst of them. Sometimes turned to be a Jew. I pretty much kept to myself, so lames I so surpassed in school. Valedictorian trick, Chris always been number one. Hung around the killers and the drug dealers on the rubbish pillow with 9 millers as it be gun. Pop, go the gun in the middle of the night. Kinda like they singing lullabies night until the morning light. There's got to be a better life. Make a couple choices. Tell myself what it's really gonna be. Make millions for the multitude. Fall victim to the Memphis streets. I chose the ladder, climb that ladder. Kick bush, cause it really don't matter. All the money mission try to get my pockets fatter. Korean ain't talking, he doing no to the chatter. Made, that boy be Memphis made. Made, that boy be Memphis made. I say he paid. That boy be Memphis made and he's paid. Yeah, there it go, let's go.
Perks gonna come with that. So don't be scared to be great. Another thing I believe is dream big. Repeat after me, dream big. Dream big. Dream big. Dream big. Oh, no, y'all say dream big. Dream big. Dream big.
Emotionally intelligent.
What do you mean, control?
You know how to control your emotions. You're gonna have to be emotionally intelligent. Because if something coming along that disturb your emotions, that dream big, it just became farther to reach. Because now what you're gonna do is focus on what's disturbing your emotions.
Here with Memphis Made, man. Hey, shoot 360, man. Kids enjoy themselves. Hey, man, I say it's a phenomenal facility, and hey, man, we enjoyed ourselves.
Yes, sir. If you haven't signed your kids up for a Memphis Made exposure event, you're missing out.
It's just exposing them to things that's gonna open their eyes, and once you expose them, if you see something different, it's like, man, I can't go back, bro.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Exposure, bro, is so key to just moving the culture forward.
Memphis Made has been making a significant impact on the lives of young individuals in the community, bringing about positive change. Their efforts have been recognized and supported by influential figures, including DJ Envy from BET's top-rated morning show, The Breakfast Club.
Memphis, what up, man? Stop what you're doing. Celebrate the city. 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 Memphis Made was created by 6 brothers to spread positivities. I'm DJ Envy. Salute.
During a conversation with Representative Justin Pearson on The Breakfast Club, DJ Envy expressed genuine concern about the safety issues faced by our community in Memphis. This concern stems from the connection between poverty and crime, highlighting the urgency of finding comprehensive solutions.
I'm doing a show in Memphis. Car show, and the biggest thing people are scared of is safety.
Yeah.
They want to make sure they're safe. I've never had to hire this many security. So that just tells me that the people in Memphis actually just don't feel safe.
A 13-year-old caught with an AK-47 style rifle, a 14-year-old with a loaded pistol, a 15-year-old flashing a 20-gauge shotgun. Police say far too many children were caught with guns on the streets of Memphis this year, and even more use those weapons to commit crimes.
This is not a rap performance. This is not a street performance. This is a family fun day. So how do we make the people of Memphis feel safe again?
Yeah, we have to put in real.
Before we delve into Justin Pearson's proposed solution, it is essential to understand who he is.
3 days after a mass shooting in Nashville, Representative Justin Pearson, alongside 2 Democratic colleagues, took to the House floor with a bullhorn urging Republicans to debate on gun reform. The incident did get the other reps talking, but not quite about guns. The Republican majority ousted Pearson and Representative Jones from their seats for allegedly breaking decorum. Gloria Johnson, a white state rep who protested with them, survived her expulsion vote. Now Pearson and Jones have found themselves in the middle of a national conversation, not just about gun control, but also racism and the division of power within state legislatures. Pearson and Jones will have to run again in a special election, but the Tennessee Constitution says their local legislative bodies can reappoint them in the interim. 2 days after Jones was sent back to his seat, Pearson faced his own vote on whether or not to reinstate him. He was unanimously voted back into office by Shelby County Democrats and has promised to run again.
So how do we make the people of Memphis feel safe again?
Yeah, we have to put in real laws, policy, practices, and money into helping our communities.
Justin Pearson is a passionate advocate who recognizes the importance of implementing laws, policies, and practices to bring about lasting change. He emphasizes the role and understanding of money in this process, as it plays a crucial role in addressing the challenges we face. To further promote the understanding of money and financial empowerment, Memphis Made took action by organizing an event called Money Talks.
Y'all ready to learn something about some money and make more money? Yeah!
Hey y'all, I'm April Nicole. I'm here with Memphis Made. I want to thank them for the opportunity to have me on their panel.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Kelvin Woods with the Equity Tap Network. Man, listen, Money Talks has been amazing.
This event aimed to provide the community with valuable insights into wealth creation, covering topics such as earning, saving, investing, protecting, strategizing, and managing debt effectively.
What's up, Money Talks with Memphis Made? The favorite pastors, Pastor Sam, Pastor Devin Westbrook of the dope and most doctrinal church in Memphis, Tennessee, Redemption Church. What it do, what it do.
And again, I want to thank the Memphis Made crew. The crew is what actually makes this thing happen. So give it up.
It's Ina Esco, host of the Verbally Effective podcast. I am here with Memphis Made and Money Talks. It's all about financial literacy.
Ideally, we want to be able to create generational wealth for our community,
for our families as well. In addition to that, we want to be able to pass that generation wealth along to our family and loved ones, right? There are a host of products that we do that with in the life insurance business.
Most people think, oh, it's just for when you die. It's not. Insurance will catapult your finances to the next level. So please stop turning a deaf ear to this.
I've been getting a lot of information just from different sectors. You know, it's amazing how finance can impact everybody's lives. You know, so our portion for this is we're going to talk about how technology and finance, how they kind of intertwine with each other, and how hopefully these guys are going to drop some good jewels and ask some questions. And if you guys have any questions, just feel free to ask. But we're definitely, the purpose of this is to talk about how technology can improve our lives and how it may have actually hurt certain people's lives to a certain degree.
They have a lot of different websites you can go on to get free credit scores, but it would definitely need to be pulled by a lender. And if you don't want to go to each lender having your credit consistently being pulled, just because you don't know what your credit scores are. It is a service that's only like maybe $29 a month, but it does give you all 3 bureaus. So that way you can know what lender to go to, because all lenders don't offer the same thing.
That's all it is. When you have credit, it puts you in a position where you can borrow those funds versus coming out of your pocket, right? Even in the case of purchasing real estate, right? You want to make sure that, sure, I've got good credit, or even maybe you want to have a good savings, right? But the biggest thing, you can leverage good credit, which is just being able to pay on time. You prove to lenders that you can pay on time, that give you loans for all types of projects, not just the purchase of real estate, but for the small business owner.
I'm proud to represent Patriot Bank today. Patriot Bank is a local community bank. I don't know if they have a chance. We have a little, I've got a presentation I'm going to try to go through today, just kind of real quickly, if they can try to pull that up for me real quick. Awesome. Thank you so much. So what we're going to talk about today is really piggyback off of the prior conversation that we were having. We were talking about real estate and owning homes. And we got a lot of good information that we learned from Rodney and from Christelle. And so I'm going to kind of take that and go maybe hopefully one step further and talk about the idea of what does that really mean when we actually go out there and we get a mortgage. And I've been doing this since 1992. I've had a lot of opportunities to meet with people. I'm from here in Memphis. You know, except for a few times in our history as a country, most people that have owned a home have turned out on the winning side of that. And if you decide to become a homeowner, then there's a good chance that you can take that home and eventually use that equity or pass it on, create generational wealth. So home ownership is one of the key tools for us to build wealth in order to improve our overall financial state. And so that's what I want to talk about today.
And I know you want to say, well, nobody done this before. Research. And you can glean information from everybody. My company is a massage company. I sit on the couch. I was in school for biochemical engineering, so I'm a scientist by background, International Science Association and all that. So I'm in college my sophomore year. I saw a black guy on TV. He was making $175 an hour, and he said he was booked for the next 6 months. I was like, and I knocked him, but he just looked a little lame. And I'm like, if this lame dude can do this, I know I can do this.
Podcasting is an easy way for you guys to be considered an industry expert. Since I started my podcast in January, I've been able to take on more speaking engagements similar to this. I've been able to take on more consulting clients. And as a result of that, I've been able to generate over $10,000 in 30 days in my podcast.
Hey, I want to give a big shout out to Memphis Made. These Money Talk shows and financial empowerment seminars are critically important. My name's Williams Brack, and I help entrepreneurs build bankable business. And I'm glad to be here at Money Talks.
Don't let people talk you out of your dreams. And like my boy said, you have not because you ask not. You gotta swallow your pride. You gotta ask questions. You gotta ask for advice. You don't know everything. And that's why I say every time I do a seminar, most of the crowd be black women. Black men, we gotta step up. We gotta come get information. You gotta take advantage of it. It'll be foolish not to get hot rod number. It'll be foolish not to get known. It'll be foolish y'all don't see it quick. It'll be foolish not to get her number and you in here with her. You don't know, we ain't gonna be in a room with these people again. and you're not taking advantage of it. So when you out there, you gotta give it all you got. You gotta give it all you got. You can't never quit. No matter how hard it get, or how tired you get, you gotta keep going.
The keynote speaker was attorney Henry Reeves. Henry, a Memphis native and former U.S. Air Force member, uses his experience to help people who have been injured. Under his leadership, Reeves' law firm has won significant legal victories for their clients. He brought pure inspiration to the Money Talks event.
We ride down the streets, expressways, and things. We see his billboards, everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, people may know they may have gotten user service. I don't know, but it amazes me. So, in short, who is Henry Reeves?
Oh, man. Henry Reeves, just a kid, born here in Memphis, hometown, Benton County, Mississippi. So I'm about 45 minutes from here. I was raised in a little neighborhood called the Dead End. We came up during I came up during the crack epidemic.
This is crack cocaine, seized a few days ago by drug enforcement agents in a park just across the street from the White House. It could easily have been heroin or PCP. It's as innocent looking as candy, but it's turning our cities into battle zones, and it's murdering our children. Let there be no mistake, this stuff is poison.
A lot of people are saying, of course, including people in Congress, that the CIA intentionally addicted African Americans to crack cocaine.
And so a lot of that kind of shaped, who I was and what my experiences, were. Like a lot of people who kind of came up in the crack epidemic, I was raised pretty much by my grandmother, for an extended amount of time. And so, that's pretty much that experience, kind of made me, who I was. I just want to give thanks to my beautiful wife. Now, we done came up, we done got a little money, but when my wife met me, I was busting tables at Denny's living with my mama. So she was with me, so we done went through it all together. We had MLGW, cut our lights out together. I done had title loans, and they took our minivan, but we didn't pay. So we had title loans, been on food stamps. We did low income housing. We did WIC. We did all that together. So, man, can we get a round of applause for my people? And the job as a visionary is I cast the dream, I kind of see where we're going, I project this is where we're going a year from here, 2 years from here, 3 years from here, 4 years, 5 years. And I'm able to be in a space of not so involved in the business that I'm just tied up with the day-to-day. I kind of get to step back and have an overall view. And then it's the job of the COO, which would be the integrator, to really formulate the plan, the play-by-play, to get into the minutia of how the dream is accomplished. We give away a lot of money, and we, like hundreds of thousands of dollars over the time, that we've kind of done it because, we always had a heart, and I know what it's like to not have anything. And so, that's what my heart is. I'm paying MLGW bills, we're doing things like that. But the realization that I had when I was in the Croc Ghana, it's the first time that I ever did this, and it kind of hurt me, is, man, there were so many kids there, and they just asked for money for like food, just, man, can I get $1? Can I get this? Can I get that? And it was the first time in my life that there were so many children and so many kids that I couldn't even give them money. Because if I pulled out one, it's a whole crowd. And that kind of let me understand and know that the way to our freedom, the way to our liberation, like it has to be something that we're building systematically that can change this, because we're not going to be able to do it just from a straight charity standpoint, because it's always going to need more. And no matter how much money it is that you're making, if your job is, if you're going to try to give the people fish as opposed to teach them how to fish, or as opposed to building a fishing pole factory for them, like you're not going to make it. It's an honest question. 2023, our people right now, are we free? Some people might say, hey man, I'm making 100,000, I'm making 150,000, I'm making 200, 400, 500,000. We free. My kids go to this private school. I got this 401k. We're free. Well, it's going to be very easy to answer the question. And to answer the question, we simply could go to the Webster's Dictionary and we can look under the definition of free. And so to be free is to be politically and otherwise free and outside of the dominion of another.
What's free? In the land of the free where the blacks enslaved. 3/5 of a man, I believe's the phrase. I'm 50% of Douce and it's dead free, yeah. 100% of Ace of Spade worth half a beat,
Attorney Henry Reeves provides a profound definition of freedom, enjoying political independence or freedom from outside domination. Throughout history, black individuals have faced obstacles that hindered their ability to build wealth and achieve economic and political independence. As our journey continues, Attorney Henry Reeves introduces an intriguing perspective on reparations. He sheds light on the necessity for federal reparations to address historical injustices and bring fairness to the distribution of black wealth.
You can look at the recent election. You can see how it was the black people that got Joe Biden put into the White House. It was the black people in Milwaukee. It was the black people in Georgia. It was the black people in a lot of these swing states, the black people of Michigan that kind of got him in. And we had a president who was literally saying that, hey, black people, I got your back. Who has heard anything about reparations? Who has heard anything about reparations? Now, we can argue about what reparations looks like, all right? I'm not saying that, hey, you need to just give every black person this amount of money, but I'm telling you that there is a need for reparations, and the people who we put into power, for whatever reason, that kind of gets pushed back to the back burner.
Many people believe that the wealth gap between black and white Americans is so vast that it cannot be fixed through small steps or programs alone. They argue that federal reparations would be necessary. Reparations for African Americans would aim to make the distribution of wealth more fair and equal, aligning it with the population's demographics. If we do a simple calculation, it shows that at least $11 trillion would be required for this purpose.
And so all this time we was talking about reparations, and guess what they've been saying? We broke, we ain't got it. We ain't got it. It's gonna bankrupt us. What happened? Pandemic pop around, all of a sudden.
This plan puts us on a path to beating the virus. This plan gives those families the breathing room they need to get through this moment. Unemployment benefits will be extended for 11 million Americans. Schools are going to have the resources they need to open safely. This plan is historic.
Man, $2 trillion. Where'd that come from? I thought we were wrong.
Hannah Jones, who received a Pulitzer Prize for creating the 1619 Project at the New York Times, which explores the legacy of slavery, explains the reasons behind the need for reparations.
When you think of reparations, two parts maybe. Why do you think reparations is important? And secondly, what do you think reparations should be?
Yeah, so I think that reparations is important because if we understand the system of slavery and the system of what you would call in South Africa racial apartheid, what we call here very benignly Jim Crow, fundamentally, these were systems of economic exploitation. We like to, in America, think of them as racist systems, but the racism is what justified the exploitation and, and the extraction of wealth from Black Americans. So here we are, 60 years out of the civil rights movement, and the wealth gap between Black and white Americans has remained unchanged. I think, how it would work, it has to be cash payments.
A lot of Americans hear that and then they go, oh, so I have to pay for slavery that I didn't do and I wasn't physically a part of. So when you say wealth transfer, where is that actual wealth coming from?
Yes, one, it's coming from the federal government. So we all pay tax dollars to pay for a whole bunch of things that I don't agree with. I could list many things that my taxes go to that I didn't personally cause. I haven't caused a single war in this country, and yet I've had to pay taxes to pay for those wars. So I think we as Americans have to understand reparations is not being paid by white people. It's being paid by the federal government, whom we all pay into. It's a collective debt that we collectively pay. And, when I hear that argument, We're not even talking about reparations for slavery. We're talking about reparations for that 100 years where Black people out of slavery were also denied through federal policy, housing policy, education policy, the ability to gain wealth.
Wealth is often passed down through generations, allowing families to build upon it over time. However, Black Americans never had a fair opportunity to do so. For 250 years, they were enslaved, unable to accumulate any capital.
Keep the slave physically strong, but psychologically weak and dependent on the slave master.
Even after slavery was abolished, Black Americans faced discrimination and segregation, which further hindered their ability to build wealth. They were denied access to colleges, higher-paying jobs, and better schools. Additionally, when they managed to acquire land or establish businesses, these enterprises were often stolen, burned down, or destroyed. All these historical factors contribute to the wealth gap we see today and support Attorney Reeves' argument. By acknowledging and taking action to address the historical barriers faced by Black Americans, we can move closer to creating a more equitable society.
Shelby County, Tennessee's largest county, will study reparations for descendants of enslaved people.
Now, the resolution funds a $5 million study to establish, develop, and implement reparations.
The resolution allocates $5 million to find actionable items addressing 5 key areas: increased access to affordable housing and home ownership, healthcare, criminal justice reform, enhanced career opportunities, financial literacy, and generational wealth.
Jim Crow was public policy. And if public policy was a part of the problem that has produced this enormous gap in wealth, then public policy has to play a role in narrowing that wealth gap.
In Evanston, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago, the first U.S. city to implement reparations and a model for Shelby County's study, tax money from the sale of recreational marijuana is used to fund the program. Descendants of Black people who lived in Evanston between 1919 and 1969 who suffered housing discrimination each qualify for $25,000.
Memphis, with its unique blend of history, culture, and resilience, has provided us with a powerful backdrop to highlight the urgent need for change. However, the principles of reducing income disparities, improving education, creating job opportunities, and supporting those in need are universal. They apply not only to Memphis, but to communities across the globe. But how can we take actionable steps towards achieving these goals?
You gotta dive into yourself. One of my favorite superheroes is Batman.
Yeah.
And the Batman that you see was created in the Batcave. Yeah. You need to go into your Batcave and you need to beat on your craft. When you come out, man, it's time to put that Batman suit on.
Yeah.
It's time to go to work.
If you stay positive, you have a shot at a silver lining.
Take a moment to pause and assess your personal situation. If you are fortunate enough to have wealth, consider opportunities to give back by sharing your knowledge and resources with those who are less privileged. Remember that our collective well-being is interconnected.
The goal is not to be successful and famous. We have a responsibility to push the conversation forward until we're all equal. Until we're all equal in this place, because until everyone's free, no one's free. And that's just the fact.
If you are currently facing poverty, never lose hope. Know that there are resources available to help you on your journey towards success.
Regardless of where you are, you are not your situation.
Connect with the right people and maintain a growth mindset, believing that there are opportunities to thrive and overcome any obstacles that come your way.
Again, that goes back to collaboration. We can be better together.
Absolutely.
Embrace a mindset of continuous improvement. The world is constantly evolving, and it is crucial to stay up to date with the latest advancements in technology and your industry.
How you learn is the most important part. Because you don't learn like everybody else learns. Everybody learns different.
Look at how artificial intelligence has shaped the world in recent years. Even the voice you hear right now is generated by AI technology. Stay informed and adapt to the changing landscape so you can position yourself for success. It's not enough to simply talk or watch documentaries. To create real change, we must act.
You know the one or two things that you can do to move your business forward. It's not the how-to, but it's the mindset. It's why aren't you taking action on what it is that you know you need to be taking action on.
Together, we can bridge the wealth gap, but it requires action and it requires each other's support. Whether you reside in Memphis, in another city, or in a small town, know that the principles we have explored in this documentary can be applied right where you are. Together, let us build a world where opportunities are not limited by circumstances, but are accessible to all.
Hey, Mike's hot, Crenshaw home, what you speaking on? Ain't no Memphis pimpin' the fly about dope up in this song. More like passive income, stretching your paper stupid long. They talking about baby racks, I'm talking paper that's grown. Change the way you thinking and change turn into dollars. Dollars into a million to make you high. I need residual, I'm talking money while I sleep. So much money I can feed my kids' family. I need residual.
Hey, that's money while I sleep. Yeah. I'm talking royalties. Yeah. I'm talking Wall Street. I need residual. Hey, that's money while I sleep. I'm talking royalties. I'm talking Wall Street. I want that color purple. That Oprah Winfrey money. Hot please don't beat me. That Soulfield money. I want that George Belfort Wolf of Wall Street money. Stop options is on the rise. That's that never sleep money. Swiss accounts on my mind. It's got me feeling dizzy. All that ice on my arms got me feeling so breezy. Inspiration, where it's at, huh? You gotta go get it, educate yourself. If you ain't already did, so what's your occupation? You still stripping for the cash, you need some inspiration. Then show your a different path. I'm talking stocks and bonds, even starting a cotton fund. Invest in CDs so your sons can have funds. I did it on my own. I deserve to be on the throne. Me and Mrs. B, she was down when I was small. They remember